Welcome to another podcast from George Eastman House, International Museum of Photography and Film.
Okay, take it off. We just did. Why are you putting gloves on?
I'm putting cotton gloves on so that the oil on my fingers, even though my fingers are clean, doesn't get on the photographs. The photographs that I'm going to show you, well, the earliest one here is probably from the 1850s, and our goal is to be able to use the collection without using it up. I'm David Wooters, and I'm the archivist in the photo collection at the George Eastman House in Rochester, New York. Protective gloves on, keep the object hopefully in the same condition it was before I took it out of the box. My job is to both help preserve the collection and provide access to the collection. The collection is about 400,000 photographs covering the history of the medium of photography. This is an early photographic process. The first successful photographic process is called the daguerrotype. I think the best part about it is that the collection is different every day, and it's not just because you're getting new acquisitions every day, it's just that you're being asked different questions of the collection every day. It's a image of, looks like a National Guardsman and his wife, and it's a half-plate daguerrotype, probably from the mid-1850s. And 400,000 things. I don't know that I've seen everything, and if I have, I know I've forgotten most of it. So every day you're seeing something new again. Sure. This is, what I thought I'd do is just sort of take you sort of through the 19th century history as our collection can show. Because our collection was put together to study the history of the medium of photography. So we're more interested in the photographic objects, right? And probably who made them and why they made them than necessarily what it's a picture of. This is a half-plate daguerrotype, and the first thing that you experience is the daguerrotype case. This is a leather case. It's about the size of a small book. When you open it up, inside the first thing that you can actually see is this plush red velvet inner cover. When you look at the daguerrotype, usually you're in the wrong light, so what you see is it's a highly reflective surface. It's a piece of copper that has been silvered and then highly polished. So what you basically see when you look at a daguerreotype is yourself, because it looks like a mirror. It's only when you get it in the correct light. Also, and it's a very private sort of thing. Once you get in the correct light, reflecting dark into it, then the image appears. And then what you see is the image created by the mercury amalgam on the plate itself. One of the things that's so interesting about daguerreotypes, like I said, is that they're one of a kind. Right? The daguerreotype plate, this is the plate that was in the camera when these two people were in the room. So there's a sense of that sort of presence about them that's very strong, very strong. And that it's difficult to see, like I say, a private, it's a much more intimate sort of experience. There's the introduction of a photographic process, a negative process, the wet collodion negative. And from that negative, many positives will be made. That's why we all know photographs, because of a negative positive. You have one negative and you can make as many positives as you want. And you can see this is the way that an actor can become a celebrity. With the daguerreotype, an actor doesn't become a celebrity. An actor becomes only known to the person who gets to hold that in their hand. Once you can make cartes de visite and send them out, right? Or people buy them, or people put them in their albums, then you have the whole notion of celebrity through photography. And that's really the importance of photography in our culture, is its reproducibility.
It's like the baseball cards of the
yeah, carte de visite is basically the 19th century equivalent of our wallet photos. What interests me is when I think, the exposures for these are not terribly long, a second, 2 seconds. And I think of how many photographs we have, actually how much time does that represent in exposure time? It's very small out of 400,000 things. You think of it, it's especially 20th century photography, it's 125th of a second, 500th of a second. You can have a whole collection, it really represents in time no more than a minute.
It's pretty amazing. How much have you ever estimated out how much time that your collection represents?
But I'm guessing it's maybe less than a week. Yet the photographs span right from 1839 to today. One thing that we've really lost track of in the digital age is that photographs are objects, and just the enjoyment of handling and being around these objects. That's the kick.
We hope you've enjoyed this Eastman House podcast, and if you'd like to find out more, visit us at eastmanhouse.org. This Eastman House podcast is made possible by the generous support of Midtown Athletic Clubs, a leader in upscale athletic and sports resort management with facilities throughout the U.S. and Canada. Visit us at midtownclubs.com.